One moment. Yep, let me put on some music. There we go. Players will be starting very shortly. Okay. So, casting TSDL, Season S, Round of 64, Tenaciousrope versus Lumiere. Lumiere is running a relatively standard box. We see... Good day, Octavia. We see Werner. He's probably the only non-standard pick for Lumiere. He's an assassin in this bot. And then Rope, running a very interesting bot. He has Estelle. A lot of people would say she's fallen out of favor, and also the Subame. Definitely, it looks like a more rush-oriented box, but there's 4 tanks between Hilda, Landius, Estelle, and Juggler. It's almost like he wants you to pick his tank for him. A lot of debuff on Lumiere side, so Rod and Seal gets banned. Tenaciousrope has a almost purely single target box, so the Hilda ban makes sense. And first pick Bernhardt from Lumiere side. Rope's thinking about banning out the tanks because, again, it's a pretty single target focus box. As for units that Bernhardt impacts, it's the Sigma, it's the T-Jess, to some extent. Not really the T-Jess. It's the Sigma and the Elwyn, and the Rosalia as well, and also the Ares. And yeah, first pick T-Jess, ban out the Magic Guards. That way T-Jess can have her pick of choice. Even stuff like Strengthen from T-Jess can be useful against what is likely going to be a debuff competition. Although, more so for other allies, not really for T-Jess herself. She can buff herself if needed, but she won't really be in range of AoEs. So, on Lumiere's side, he opts to ban Elwyn and Ares. They're the main long-range threats in Rope's box. Sigma has some ramp-up time, because Burn can bring Iron Fist to guard against Strong Wind Snipe Sigma. Zerida also takes some time to get going. Lumiere, or Rope clicking Rosalia and Sigma. Rosalia would be good against Burn because she forces Burn to not run Werewolves. Burn would have to run Guardian Infantry. And Rope's expecting a Kruger Arene pick. Nice clicking. Giving me some clues. And let me know if my audio is good. I think it should be okay, but I'm not positive. Word, thank you, Octavia. Okay, so Liana and Iris gets banned. Lumiere is thinking about removing the healers. There's still D-Lit up. And that's probably what we're going to see out of Rope next. to handle the debuff coming. There's Reen, Bozel, and Licorice up for debuff combos. And Licorice is probably... I don't know. I would think about banning Licorice instead of Bozel. Her healing tile, or her tiles, could be really annoying for this comp. Banning Florentia because Bernhardt buffs her and gives her stratagem income is also okay. Leans... Lumiere could pick up Liko here, but then she'd be running more as a healer in this composition. And yeah, Rosalia gets picked up. It's going to be effective against Burn. It doesn't let him bring werewolves. Burn should probably run Guardian Infantry against Rosalia. That would ensure that Burn doesn't die. And because of this long range, the Sigma and the Rosalia, you probably need to bring Iron Fist here. Otherwise, you're just going to get traded. Rope wants Estelle here. He wants her for the mobility buff. He wants her for the general faction buff to his team. Because after D-Lig gets banned, there's no way to buff the Sigma. You could run buff on Sigma, but that's usually not too great. And yeah, Bozel gets picked. Bozel's pretty slow. And definitely you ban Liko there. You ban Oldius because he shuts down Rosalia's cavalry movement. Hilda gets picked up. Is Rope hoping for a 5th pick Tsubame? Yeah, you kind of click on that. He'll take Tsubame or Estelle. But I feel that you might want more DPS rather than a tank. Without a healer, you're not going to be able to outlast, right? And yeah, so picking up the Tsubame. The Tensei buff for Rosalia is also useful. It gives her some more damage, and again, if Burn brings werewolves, he's very much so dead. Oh, Rope clicking on his game plan. Sigma's... Okay, so he wants to kill Bernhardt with T-Jess, and then he wants to use Sigma to clean up the rest. And no peeking. Win conditions here. On Lumiere side, we have Kruger Bozel combo. There's also T-Jess, and Bernhardt can also support this composition by landing a sword dance. Rope probably picked up Hilda because he didn't want T-Jess to just have freedom of range to go in and snipe units. And her buff was also pretty useful. It's hitting Tsubame, it's hitting Rosalia, it's hitting T-Jess. Excuse me. Rope's game plan here is, like I said, probably he wants to snipe Bernhardt with T-Jess. Rope would be relying on that. Bernhardt's probably going to bring guard here. It could be dangerous if Bernhardt doesn't bring guard. In round 1, fight! So yeah, Bernhardt brought werewolves. He did not bring Iron Fist. There's no tank from Lumiere side. This Rosalia probably has her pick of whoever she'd like. The middle of the map can be annoying for Rosalia because it's all water tiles, so she can't really move through that. And she can't move through the top route of mountain tiles either, so she sort of has to go through the bottom. But since Bernhardt brought werewolves, this Rosalia should probably just one-shot him. Then after Rosalia one-shots Burn, T-Jess can take her pick, Sigma can take his pick, and it's 4 DPS versus 4 DPS, but Bozel's really slow. And he doesn't give you anything for survivability, especially when you're fighting the single target composition. That can just send in their DPS one by one. Maybe don't want to buff with Hilda just yet. Maybe want to stick back, use guard first. That way T-Jess's range is nullified. You can just position around the Hilda. And you also have Act Again units. T-Jess, Rosalia, Tsubame, all will be having an Act Again, which will burn through the buffs. Rosalia a bit less so, because she has Chiv anyway, and the most important thing for her is the attack buff. But there are no assassins on Lumiere's side. So you could probably position forward, relatively free, but you have to consider that Lumiere has turn priority. And when you're playing a no healer composition like Rope is, you need to be very careful about any debuff AoEs landing, because they can really ruin your plans. Because there's no debuff removal on Rope's side. And now Kruger Breeze, he's pretty much in range of the entire team. Considering there's no single target. Oh no, there's T-Jess. So yeah, you can't really just send Tsubame in. If there was no single target, you could, and that you could just teleport Tsubame in, go for sniping the Kruger. Yeah, Dark Faction buff, pretty useful. Mostly for the Kruger and the Boozle. Bernhard already had his own faction buff, and actually something to be said there is you might want... I'm not sure if Lumiere used... Yeah, I think Lumiere used faction buff. You would rather have Bernhardt's faction buff on Burn than Boozle's faction buff, because the condition on Burn's faction buff is much better. One, Boozle's faction buff doesn't work on AoE damage. Two, it's hard to get up that many debuffs. I guess this composition still can, because there's no debuff removal on Rope's side. But still, you'd rather have 18% than 15%. So Bernhardt should probably want to faction buff after Boozle does. That way he maintains his faction buff effect. Teleporting Rosa, yep, I was gonna say right next to Hilda. This is fine, T-Jess can't punish it. And pretty much the rest of Rope's DPS are going to remain out of range. If it's Balanced Blade Bernhardt, I think that Tsubame is in range. And thank you, Kenji, for the raid. If it's Balanced Blade Bernhardt with Apex Boots, he should be able to reach right next to Rosalia. But maybe Rosalia's just going to go in and try to snipe this Bernhardt immediately. And then that removes the threat on Tsubame. Yeah, Bird FB is 18% when entering battle, but Boozle's faction buff doesn't work on AoE. So, it's 15% damage, it's just pretty much worse. Yeah, I think the play here is Rosalia wants to kill Bird, because otherwise Tsubame gets hit. I guess Tsubame can still get hit by Kruger. And then Rosalia can body block. I think going in with Rosalia right now might be a mistake, The reason is TGS is still up. If you go in with Rosalia as your last action, then your opponent can't respond and hit. Hey, Rain, what's up? So, opting for the Kruger kill. This is a trade. I need to see who's still up on rope side. What better opportunity was afforded by not moving that person last? Because T just snipes Rosalia here. Definitely a trade. Oh, but maybe it's a bait? Because yeah, Sigma's still up. I do feel like you could leave Sigma up, but maybe Rope wants T-Jess to go in and hit his Rosalia? Because no matter where, I think Tsubame would be in range. The Tenyo's on Bozo. Excuse me. Yeah, the Tenyo's on Bozo is pretty unfortunate. Yeah, Tsubame's in range. So that was a bait. But T-Jess can just move out of range. So yeah, I think Rosalia needed to move last there. And then you force player 1 to spend their turn, you know, at the beginning of next turn, doing something, countering what you did, and then you have more favorable trades after that. Okay, so Sigma's out of Bozo range, as is Tsubame. So Bozo, even though he has a Tenyos, he doesn't have a good angle. T-Jess used teleport. She can't hit Tsubame because of hide, and she should not be in range of Sigma. Yeah, 1-for-1 trade. Sigma marks the Bozo, which zones him somewhat. Yeah, he hits the Tsubame. And the thing is, you don't have a healer. So now Tsubame is pretty useless. T-Jess, I guess, goes in here. Also, Tsubame's talent is on a timer after she goes into hide, so she can't just reapply hide. Maybe you move Tsubame back right now? Move her out of range of T-Jess going in and sniping. Oh no, T-Jess isn't in range. So Tsubame is safe. Sue can still kill T-Jess at that HP. I would say yeah, if it was melee. No, she could reach. She has quick set. It'd be really risky. But I have seen that Tsubame kill. And there's also a Razasaur. It would definitely be a trade. It's just a matter... Yeah, oh, he's going for it. Because after this, Tsubame hides and then you can't target her with Bozo. Burn blew his sword dance. So you can't unhide Tsubame because she can retreat after killing. Well, I guess Bozo got the Tenyos, so he could. Yeah, I don't know. He's going for it. Kill her. Yes. Do it. Yes. 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 I knew she would kill. Yeah. Ooh. So good. So good. Hell yeah. We love to see that shit here in TSDL. Second time you see that shit? Me too. I've seen Rope Tsubame kill a T-Jess with no faction buff with no soldiers as well. Oh my wa mo shinderu. Yeah, Kaze. Okay. So, T-Jess kills Burn. And then it's just Bozo. A Bozal with a mark versus Sigma. Yeah, so Bozal moved up. Pretty much, I think I'm almost positive that T-Just just kills the crap out of that burn. She has Hilda buff, and then since Bozal moved, you can just move Hilda forward after that, and then T-Just will still be out of Bozal AoE range. So yeah, I don't know about standing Hilda here, but I guess maybe T-Just is always going to be in AoE range, and after you kill the burn, and then you trade for the Bozal with Sigma, who will always be out of AoE range if T-Just moves into the correct spot, it's GG. Because it's burn dead, Bozal's dead, and then it's just Liana. 7 move Bozal, it's boots, yeah. But as I said, it doesn't even matter. You probably might as well use Act again here. But I don't see the angle for Lumiere to win though. T-Just? Oh, T-Just doesn't have teleport up? Yeah, you zone. You zone this turn. You have to. Just stay out of range. Yeah. No matter what, Bozal can't reach the Sigma. Hilda's pretty much just here, actually being a wall to prevent burn from reaching Sigma. Some interesting stuff. What is the angle for Lumiere here? Oh, he retreats. But I think T-Just can still reach that. Rope burning Hilda action. Just fine. Yeah, you want to force your opponent to spend some moves. And Hilda's position is okay. Next turn, she'd probably want to move up 1, so you can continue to zone, but you don't even need to. This Bozal's dead. If he goes in. And he doesn't have a good angle anyway. Yeah, T-Just just yeets herself and kill the burn. And I think it's just GG from there. Oh, or you teleport Sigma. That's fine too, because now Bozal's dead. Both these routes work. It actually ends up the same way either way. It's going to be Hilda in one of these DPS versus Liana. Probably have to act again burn here on Lumiere's side just to try and get the counter kill, but yeah, even if Liana acts again burn, it still does not matter. I think this is chess. I might be wrong. Yeah, there is some damage reduction for Sigma side. But Bernhardt didn't carry his faction buff. He got it overwritten by Bozal's Dark faction buff, and that 18% damage is actually a large portion of Burn's kit. So yeah, I could see Sigma living here. But no, still just dies. Doesn't even need it. And now T-Just just snipes Burn. Well, she can't right now, but she will snipe Burn after. Yeah, no, Burn's crazy, dude. He will kill Like, last rites does not matter to him. He has normally 53% damage reduction. I don't know what 53% minus 18 is off the top of my head. $35. Yes. Good chat. Yeah, so T-Dust can't reach right now. Bernhardt's Sword Dance might be up. So maybe this could be risky. Yeah, no, I think Bernhardt's Sword Dance is up. And it looks like Balance Blade. Yeah, if you move Hilda up one tile, then it blocks T-Jess from getting hit. Because Bernhardt can't reach. He would only be able to move underneath Hilda. Or... yeah, no, Hilda can't reach. Bernhardt Sword Dance. It's a problem. Bernhardt can reach. I think. The T-Jess, specifically. Yep. So the play here... T-Jess can't reach anyway. You probably just move Liana. Yeah, you move Liana. Gospel doesn't do too much here. And T-Jess is forced to move into range regardless. Yeah. If Hilda moved top, and then T-Jess moves onto that bridge tile to the left of the fog, then T-Jess wouldn't be in range. Kenji's right. No, actually it would still reach. He would just Bernhardt would just move one tile above Hilda. And then, yeah. Sword Dance. Heal block. A lot of damage on the T-Jess. And she can't heal. Is Hilda guard down? Doesn't look like it. And you pretty much have to just hit the burn here. Probably not gonna kill. Yeah. So close. Hilda has to move one tile back here to guard the T-Jess. Bernhardt will get another heal. And then T-Jess can use Holy Light. It will give her some additional sustain. Could have moved T-Jess one tile up. But this is a better forward positioning, so yeah. So Bernhardt probably gets full healed here by the Liana single target heal. Hilda's guard is down. Bernhardt's Sword Dance is also down. So Hilda probably needs to use guard here. Either that or T-Jess teleports Hilda into a good spot and then just hits the burn anyway. That would also work. Yeah. That's why T-Jess is so strong. She has so many plays. Yeah, this will give T-Jess some nice healing, I think. And no, it just kills the bird, and that is GG. There's no way Liana can win from here. Went a little awry with the Bernhardt Sword Dance, but T-Jess still managed to clutch it out. Will we see any significant backup box changes? Rope strategy looks good. Based off trading and eventually winning the trade game. As for Lumiere's side, his box is pretty versatile. You could potentially slot in more single target long leg DPS to deal with it, but Rope showed his willingness to pick a tank anyway, and there's 4 tanks in this box too. Assassins, perhaps? Yeah, no, I think on Lumiere's side, he might want to consider bringing Assassin. There's so many tanks in this box. You can't really rely on long leg single target DPS to just get through it. If you wanted to punish the really aggressive play, you'd probably need Assassins to trade favorably with. Okay, and Rope changes Verida for Imelda. Lumiere opts to make no changes to his box, which I think is fine still. There's Werner. You could pick him more early. A lot of stuff in Rope's box is dead to Werner. Again, Rosin first ban from Lumiere. Knows he's playing a debuff box, just fine. And Hilda first ban from Rope. He knows that he's playing single target strat. First pick Sigma. Pushing your opponent towards picking a tank, probably leaning more towards Landius. Because Landius seems better against a single target in Rope's box than Dog would be. You could probably even pick Burn here again. This time you just have to bring Iron Fist. Because Rope did slot in another healer. Previously there were no healers. Or previously there were less healers. In the last game, outlasting with Burn Iron Fist could have been a good strat. Excuse me. Yeah, Bernhardt was really annoying last game. Ares if you want to play without a tank. But that's the thing, in Rope's box with 4 tanks, is it really that likely that tanks are going to get targeted? Probably not. Like, you ban 2 DPS here if you're Lumiere, and then Rope gets 1 DPS. Because you can ban the other one, and you can probably ban Dog after that. And then it's just tanks and healers on Rope's side. Second pick Ares. Between all the DPS and Rope's box, seems good. Maybe he's targeting specific people like Licorice, Laurentia. Kruger is a little hard to kill, especially with Landius Aura around. Yeah, Rope's gonna pick Liana here. Werner. Yeah, I like the Werner pick a lot here. This map isn't the best for him. Well, no, it's a pretty good map because Werner can ignore terrain restrictions on up to 3 tiles, and that means he can go through the center pretty easily no matter what. A nice long leg single target to zone out these threats. He can kill Sigma. He can kill Ares. Tsubame? Tsubame is a target that Werner can't kill. And there's no reason for Rope. Liata can get banned out. Liata D-lit, and then it's difficult for you to deal with. Kruger got banned, Ares got banned, the long leg AoEs have pretty much been banned other than Licorice, right? Reen has some setup time. Boldle takes some time to reach the opponent. T-Disc could be good. There's nothing to really effectively kill this Reen though. So him landing a nice AoE on the entire team is a strong win condition for Lumiere. But if these single target DPS just go in one by one, and plus there's dog healing, still the AoE debuff can be really devastating. And it's really hard to remove Reen. But dog pickup, you can lock down Reen with B-Shock from 3C, and also just B-Shock from B-Shock. But now Rope's going to be playing 2 tank. We're going to see Hilda pick. The Act Again, though. Do you really want to give... I guess your opponent already has Act Again. Lumiere specifically. Sorry about that. I just sneezed. Good lord. Yeah. Hilda pick buffs the Tsubame. Buffs the Ares. Gives him 12% damage that he usually wouldn't have. Oh, but timer ran out. Landius got picked instead. I will be right back in just a minute. Sorry about that. I am back. We're still not in the game. So let's talk about win conditions. As I adjust my microphone again. Okay, so there's not a strong way to remove the Reen. The best counter you have to Werner is your 2 tanks. Your Sigma and your Ares as Rope. They have to position either close enough that Werner can't ignore guard range, or far enough that he can't reach, which by turn 2 or 3, Werner can pretty much reach the entire map. So Werner is a really solid pick against this kind of comp. There's no healer. Is it going to be reliant on Sigma sniping Reen? Because after Sigma snipes Reen and then you trade Werner, there's a good chance that Landius, Raza, and Florentia can just die. to Tsubame, whatever else. There's limited damage. Interestingly, Landia Springs heavy Centaurians. Bit weaker against Ares. Is good against this Cav Lando though. But Lumiere didn't see that it was a cavalry Landius. I guess it was just a gamble, and it worked out. We do have Landius faction buff for Sigma. That 15% damage should be able to secure that kill on Reen pretty well. So Sigma trades, but the thing is Werner. He zones out the Sigma, so Sigma can't really reach the Reen well. Seven, 8, 9. So yeah, if Sigma... No, Sigma wants to move in that tile, actually, because then Werner can't really guard ignore, right? But I guess it depends on where Werner positions himself. He'll probably... Werner's a tough character because you don't see him too much. And the conditions for being able to ignore him are pretty specific, at least positioning-wise. It's all dependent on trying to prevent him from being able to get 10 move, because if he doesn't have 10 move, then he can't guard ignore. And the other condition that really shuts down Werner is Lancer soldiers, which none of these people have. Tsubame, she can move up just fine. She'll be hidden. Werner can't target her. Reen already burned line AoE, so he can't just go in and hit Tsubame and then Tsubame dies of something else. And again, it's very important that Rope's not getting hit. I see why it was so hard for Rope to decide. We see single target Ares. The thing is, do you support the Tsubame? Or do you support the Sigma? I think, in the end, supporting a Sigma was a better choice, because it really secures that kill on Reen. And Tsubame should be able to kill these squishies. It's a Bracer Florentia, so maybe not her, but Rosin should definitely be dead. Oh, but you see, Mortal Light on this Rosin. But that's not enough to avoid backstab. That's enough to avoid Twilight Star. Not enough for Rag or backstab. They do too much damage, you don't heal back up enough, and you're gonna be dead. Interesting that you can see Mortal Light from that Endure counter. That gives a lot of my ideas of debating people with it pause. Okay, so Reen gets marked. Sigma's definitely going to try and snipe Reen here. It's a pretty favorable trade for Rope, because there's only 2 DPS on Lumiere's side. There is also only 1 tank. I didn't see if Landius brought Route or not, but locking down Landius with Dog and then sniping with Sigma and Ares is also a pretty strong win condition here for Rope. Pretty weak Reen. 952 attack. Not gonna do too much damage. Dog will heal most of it back up, if not all. The Tsubame does have pretty good range. Her target is pretty much just Rosin Seal. Without a buff, it'll be difficult for Tsubame to kill this Florentia's troops. They're pretty bulky. Okay, mass attack on Florentia, that's good. Your Reen and your Werner both needed it. But again, still, this Reen's really weak. Reen needs healthy attack. Especially if you want to rely on Reen as a carry, which you're kind of doing that with the 2-healer comp. You're relying on Reen to do a lot of work here. And if he doesn't do damage, then even just Dog is good enough. Like, I think it's, no, never mind. It's Werner talent that's giving Reen +2 mobility. One mobility for ignoring terrain, so that fort, for instance, Reen can just move on top of it for free because of off-roading from Werner, and the other mobility is just a generic +1 mobility from Werner talent. Kind of makes you wish you had Apex boost Reen. Yeah. Rope pointing out the Mortal Light Helm. Again, it doesn't count as Tsubame. This Rosin's dead anyway unless she uses Crystal Ward. Skill 20%, that means Witch Hat. So she's immune to fixed damage right now. Tsubame can't go in. I don't think she can reach anyway. Tsubame has some ramp up time. She stacks mobilities from her unique or something. I don't know how she works that well, honestly. Reen won't have Arc Slash this turn. He will have it next turn. Because of the cooldown reduction from using his transformation. This is pretty good music for this scenario. Most players are probably feeling pretty anxious. Yeah, Reen hasn't transformed yet, which is good. Reen wants to transform when he has a solid engage. That way, if you get clocks or anything like that, you can capitalize. But again, Dog is a problem. Yeah, Rope, the tile he has clicked on right now, is the range of his Dog. So Reen doesn't want to move there. Probably wants to move above Landius. That's... well... no, Rope has turn priority. Florentia can burn, act again. She can just pop 3C into nothing, and then act again Reen if Sigma positions forward. And yeah, Reen should be able to get a good 3C there. So that's what I think Lumiere should do. Move Reen up above Landius, pop Florentia 3C, act again the Reen, and then if Sigma moves forward, it does not matter because you're going to nail him with 3C debuffs. Sigma will still probably heal up a lot, and depending on the debuff roll, it could still be a trade anyway, but there's no debuff removal. So if silence happens, it's pretty much GG from there. Maybe Ares can kill Reen. But you'd have the last action, so he'd have to do it at the beginning of his next turn. And Ares would also be in range of the AoE right now, so. Yep, Tsubame just moving forward, threatening the healers. Ares probably just wants to move out of AoE range here. And it's really risky to position Sigma forward because of that act again play with Florentia. Even though it's a 5-star Florentia, you can still use 3C. That always will give you 1 stratagem, and then you can act again. It might not be optimal because you don't want to use 3C without having a chance to clock, but sometimes it's the best play you can make. That's why 6-star Florentia is really important. Rope's starting to tick down on his backup time. We'll see what Lumiere's looking at. 173 seconds. Lumiere has a lot more time to think. Reen can reach anyway. I think he got a Tenyo? Is that what happened? No, not a Tenyo. Was that Breeze? It has to be, right? Because he should be 4 mobility. And he moved after Werner did, so he wouldn't have Werner's talent mobility. It should be Breeze. Sigma can't reach anybody. Again, this Sigma moving forward is risky. Florentia just needs to act again the ring here. Act again, Reen. Maybe get some good debuffs. Because otherwise your Reen's dead. You don't really have a choice. You could move him on to Forest, maybe, and try to tank the Sigma. But a good Sigma will kill Reen anyway. It's going to be a trade, but it's a really good trade for Rope. When you play 2 healer, you have to keep your DPS carries alive. You just can't afford to lose them. They need to be units that can carry consistently, and Werner maybe not fitting that too much. He's a trade unit, which is kind of at odds with having 2 healers. I think Lumiere has to act again right here. And just go for the 3C and hope it silences. Put him on a 4. Good, good, good. Yes, yes. Full heal. Sigma does get mobility down. Florentia clocks. Very nice. And yeah, now Reen's gonna go in for the Wombo combo. Put himself on a fort. What he should do. And then it could be really risky for Sigma to go in. Yep, yep. Okay, so Sigma doesn't get silenced. Yep, check the debuffs. He did roll either, yep, damage dealt decreased by 20%. You're not going to kill that Reen. What you can do is kill Florentia. But You could also try to... No. Ares is heal reversed. He also has the damage dealt debuff. Ares can't do anything here. Is still the best option to try with Sigma? Probably. But I don't think it'll work. At this point, your team... Tsubame's heal blocked as well. You have no healer. It's looking pretty rough for Rope here. And yeah, he's running out of time. Just send it. Hope it works. Probably the best option. Because if you kill Reen here, you're still in an okay spot. But I don't think it will. Oh, it definitely won't. Oh, shit. Okay. Shadow Duel has to be a melee skill. To some extent, it was critting. I was thinking the buff block. The buff block would prevent Sigma's Shadow Duel EMB effect, right? And so I was thinking that he would have reduced damage at melee, because it's Stinger. But it seems that Shadow Duel is coded to be a melee skill, no matter what. So it doesn't have melee penalty whatsoever, which makes sense. So even buff block won't stop that. Reen got Shadow Dueled by Sigma. I was talking about how Shadow Duel must be coded as a melee skill because it's a Stinger Sigma. Because Sigma had buff block. So that means no matter what, Shadow Duel will always work at melee. I learned something. Nice. Werner kills a Tsubame. It's a trade for a DPS. It's a Bracer Florentia. Not quite sure why she's running bishops. And Rope's out of time, so it's going to be difficult for him to make good moves. Putting King's Crown on Dog. That's good, though. At this point, Werner uses skill, I think, to kill Tsubame. Maybe he didn't. I didn't see exactly. And yeah, that clock is pretty annoying, because this could probably kill your Ares. Yeah, Werner didn't use skill. Thank you. Yeah, he should not have. But Werner can't guard ignore now because units are too close. It's not 10 block. Yeah, no. Landius should be guarding the Sigma. No, Landius has mobility. No, okay. It's soldier mobility down for Florentia. It's fine. It does not prevent guard. No problem. So yeah. Werner has to back off. He can't guard ignore right now. He has to move into a position more where he can. Probably move one tile right too, just to maximize it. You're gonna have that infinite range anyway. Cause yeah, well, let's say Werner's one tile right. It's still 9 tiles on the Sigma. No, but it could be a better angle if... Yeah, because you could probably go behind or to the left of Sigma. And that would definitely be 10. It's still 10, actually. Werner can reach. Rope does have turn prio. And no backup time. A pretty awkward spot. I would put Juggler to the left of Sigma. That should prevent... I don't know. It's tough. Ares is probably dead. Werner can reach behind Sigma, which I'm pretty sure that... Yep. B-Shock, it does not matter. It's an easy kill. And now Rope does not have a chance of winning this game. Both left and above of Sigma would be 10 move. Yep. So yeah, dog moving in Werner's spot wouldn't have mattered because Sigma or Werner would have just moved above Sigma. Yeah, this is GG. Sigma needed to stay alive and take out these healers. Maybe take out the Werner at some point too. We have Eye of the Desert for our map. I don't think it matters too much. I do think this is a good Illustrial map. She's probably the most relevant person to mention when considering the map. The reason is that there's plenty of tiles on around the center for Illustrial to ignore Garnon, and there's also plenty of terrain for her to use the full extent of her talent. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good Illustrial map. Because at the end of the day, Lang's about controlling the center. No backup box changes from either side. And it looks like we're going to go the same band pick routes. Yep. Pretty much the same band pick routes so far. I think what we're going to see out of Rope here is he's going to ban Werner second. He should know that Werner was a really big problem for his composition. That's the adjustment I would make. I think this comp just... The strat Rope's playing just can't deal with Werner. And if it's going to be a repeat of game 2, it's probably going to end in the exact same way. That's the thing, you can't just hope that... When your strat didn't work, you really need to recognize that. You can't just play the same thing. That puts your opponent into a comfortable position. But yeah, second pick D-Lit. This time, Rope's picking up healers to deal with some debuff spam. Although, the thing is, Reen was not the problem last game. It was Werner. Yep. Banning out the healers from Lumiere's side. But this time he second picks Bozal. Yeah, and Werner. Reen was not the issue. Yes. Yep. No. Kruger is an issue too. Yeah. There's a really strong debuff follow-up after Kruger gets picked. I think you have to let Reen go through. Screw this song. There we go. The bands here, Ares, Dog. And yeah, of course Kruger gets picked. Ares, Dog, banning out the long range AoE or single target threat from Ares. More so AoE. Because Rosalia usually shouldn't bust a Landius, it depends on the Landius. And the Guardian Infantry. This feels difficult for upside. Lumiere probably wants to pick Liko or Dog here. No threat on us healers. Both would be good. Because there's nothing that can kill Dog particularly effectively. So yeah, I want to see a Liko or Dog here. I like Dog, locks down the tank, but Liko's additional healing could be useful as well. Yeah, Rope probably wants to ban Liko Dog here. The double healer ban I don't feel very strongly about. You do have some healing. The win conditions on Rope's side seem weak here. You have two assassins. D-Lit isn't going to be able to bust Landius by herself. There is no single target threat from Lumiere's side, so maybe it could work. Lumiere's win condition is pretty simple. It's totally about just spamming the crap out of debuffs and overwhelming the healing. Imelda should probably bring the spell here. She could even consider dropping 3C, but then it depends on whether or not your Imelda is Holy Ring or not. Immune to silence. Okay, we're in. Rope's win condition here is killing these debuffers before they can initiate. Bozel is susceptible to that. We saw that it was Boots Bozel in game 1. So Tsubame should be able to kill him. And then if there's no big single target threat to punish the assassins going in, Tsubame should be able to get a pretty free kill because she goes in and then she hides after. Probably snipe the Bozel. Could also snipe the Kruger. Probably want to put that debuff on the Kruger. That way it's... Okay, so Sigma's going for Bozel. I think that Tsubame is the one that needs to go for Bozel here. I think I'd rather mark Kruger. Or Licorice. The Kruger debuffs are kind of a big deal here because you only have limited burst debuff removal from Sea of Miracles and Dispel. Dispel has a 1-turn cooldown, and Sea of Miracles does quite a bit longer. Which means when the Bozel or Licorice AoEs land, it's going to be difficult to remove a lot of other debuffs. Excuse me. Oh my god. It's a difficult game for Rope. Because he can't really afford to lose Sigma or Tsubame. They need to be the main carries here. Kruger also procced Breeze. His range is pretty much the entire enemy team. So Tsubame probably needs to kill the Kruger. Again, there's a Florentia for Act Again plays. You could probably just Act Again Kruger here. I guess it'd be a trade. He would still hit the entire enemy team though because of that Breeze proc. Just puts Dark Ward on himself, moves directly next to Landius. Or, sorry, Estelle. And then that would even hit the Imelda. No, she can. She just uses 3C, and then she gets +1 gem, always. So yeah, you can always go for that play, even if she's not 6 stars. You need 5-star. Or either that, or you need 4-star and to be able to hit 2 opponents. Because that gives you another gem too. 3C always gives you 1 gem, and then it gives you another gem if you hit 2 opponents. So you could just pop the 3C right now and Act Again Kruger. But again, I don't know. It would definitely be... Well... Because Lumiere's player 2. That means he can use Kruger as the absolute last action after the Act Again. So Nobody can punish this, and Rope would have to spend his next turn punishing it. And it would also just debuff the crap out of everybody. Bozo using faction buff first. Yep, that's fine. Bozo's now in range of almost the entire team. Pretty big threat. No way to guard ignore it. Kruger going in. And I'm not so sure about D-Lit running 3C here. I think Gospel, Sea of Miracles, Elvenora would be better. Gospel would help you a lot versus debuff. Like, imagine if Sigma or Subame could have a Gospel right now. You could also Gospel turn 1, because this is turn 2, right? I think. Yep, okay. Florentia's going for it. Act again, Kruger is the likely thing here. But Bozo could also work. Yeah. Okay, so the 3... Yeah, this is still turn 1, thank you. Yeah, I thought so. So yeah. The 3 Sigma and Subame are the carries of this team. And they all get silenced. Subame is out of range for Dispel. And Kruger is just totally in range. Sigma got heal blocked. So did Subame. It's looking pretty bad. Perhaps needed to be a bit more respectful of the act again play with Florentia. Not move everybody in so close. Or at least not give Bozo an easy AoE target. Estelle could be farther away, and then Bozo wouldn't have had that AoE opportunity. Kruger still would have. But that's probably something you can recover better from than a Bozo Black Hole. Rope needed to engage first here. Yeah, it feels like the only option here is to run away, and then Suame's probably gonna die anyway. Bozo AoE should kill her. Just use Earthquake. No problem. Supposing that Lumiere brought it. Which with this AoE composition I would think you would have. The 5-star Florentia, very OP, making your opponent potentially think that she can't do anything. Yep, Earthquake. And it kills Subame. Not particularly close. There was about 1,000, no, not 1,000, more like 500, 700 damage of wiggle room. Can't really move Estelle there because, well, Bozo didn't clock anything, so. There's no strong way to kill Bozo at this point. The Sigma had to move back to even try to survive. The rope's running out of time. Gospel could have done a lot of work here. Then Bozo could have just gotten counter killed. It's not a bracer Bozo, it's boots. And this won't kill. It's too strong, too much MDF. Yep. Only kills the Sorks. Yeah, Rope should not have ran 3CD lit. It just doesn't. There's just not a good. D-Lit needs to play support healer in this composition. You would mostly be hitting the Landius. Bozel dies for it. So it's not over yet. It's still 4v4. But D-Lit doesn't have a solid way to bust the Landius. She used her 3C skill. It's going to take a while for that to come back up. Bozel was the person Sigma marked, so Shadow Duel won't be up for another 3 turns. It's a really long time, and Rope's running out of backup time. I think Imelda needs to dispel here. Too worried about the Kruger debuff? Just dispel. Get some healing up while you can. Put it on the cooldown. So Kruger can't reach anything, even with Dark Warded Breeze, because of this positioning. He can reach Imelda and Estelle, but he can't reach D-Lit or Sigma. So yeah, he just opts to wait for a better opportunity, because now, next turn, he could definitely hit everything. So Estelle would be dead to Licorice and Kruger here. You would just heal up with Florentia. And then 2 times Sork's hitting will certainly kill Estelle. Or just move Lando and force your opponent to do another move. That's also fine. Lumiere, conscious of the fact that Rope doesn't have a lot of backup time, moving quickly, not letting Rope think on Lumiere's turn. Yup. Estelle dies here. And there's no particularly great follow-up. You whip Sigma, but even then, I don't think you can reach anything. Yep. Sigma needs 3 range to ignore guard. He can maybe kill one of the people that hit Estelle here. But you still lose Estelle for it, and then you're going to lose Sigma for it. Damn! That just straight up kills. I was not expecting that, but Estelle is very weak to magic, so it makes enough sense. But still. And now Kruger nails you with that nasty AoE. If it's a 6-star Kruger, it could even kill this Sigma. Yep, it crit. Damn. And we're gonna see another Kruger AoE. Or Liko AoE. The team just gets burned down. Nothing available on D-Lit. Yep, GG. So, Lumiere wins 2-1. Congratulations to Lumiere for advancing to the round of 32. Better luck next time to Rope. And yeah, I hope he doesn't get discouraged. I shouldn't have even said that. Kenji should be streaming a game. And in 5 seconds or so, yep. Okay. Thank you guys for watching my stream. Bye!